Hey everybody, and welcome to the second Pokemon Showdown battle that I had with the Mothers team. I'm up against somebody who has a Galvantula, Milotic, Noivern, Porygon 2, Slurpuff, and Chesnaught, and we've already seen Porygon 2 on another team, which was the battle right before this one, so the Mothers are going to have to face Porygon 2 twice. And this is only going to be, this is the second battle, but it's also going to be the last one with this team, unless you guys want to see it again. So if you want to see the Mom's team again, please leave a comment below requesting it and saying that you like it and you would want to see it again, and then I will consider it and maybe bring the girls back for another go. But about my opponent's team, I'm 99.9% sure that Galvantula is going to be used first to set up Sticky Web. Slurpuff is one of my favorite Pokemon, as you guys know from seeing some of my in-game battles. And so Slurpuff is pretty scary. I'm pretty sure it's like either going to be a Belly Drum set or the set I use with Calm Mind and Cotton Guard, both of which are very threatening and very viable. So, I'm worried about that, and Chesnaught is a fighting type, and that worries me also because two of my Pokemon can't really take or are weak to fighting, and I'm not too confident in how well my other Pokemon can take attacks from a Chesnaught, except for Nidoqueen and possibly Lilligant too, but I don't know if Lilligant's defenses are all that great. Everything else on this team is also threatening in its own right. Milotic is going to be tough to take down, and Noivern is just fast as heck. So, yeah, this should be a really interesting battle, and I'll tell you in advance that it came down to the wire. So, and I really like those battles, whether I win or lose. So, I hope you guys really enjoy this too. Let's go. Okay, so my opponent, as I predicted, sends out Galvantula first, and I bring in my Lilligant, and this is kind of a weird situation. I knew that Galvantula was going to set up Sticky Web first, so I figured if I got a Quiver Dance up, then a Bug Buzz from Galvantula wouldn't do all that much because of the special defense boost, and since I ended up outspeeding Galvantula, a second special defense boost would be even better, but then he uses Bug Buzz, and it brings me down to over half, and I really overestimated Lilligant's special defense. So I just went for a Hidden Power Fire, knowing that Lilligant was going to go down, and I wasted 2 turns boosting up when I should have just went for Hidden Power Fire after 1 Quiver Dance. That would have been the smartest play for me because I figured that Galvantula was going to have a Focus Sash. And I bring in Miltank, which is not specially defensive, but I wanted to set up Stealth Rock to kind of put the pressure on all of my opponent's other Pokemon. But I wanted to save my Miltank for later because I know that my opponent has at least 1 or 2 in the way of Slurpuff physical threats. So I decided to switch out my Miltank and bring in Nidoqueen to take a Thunder because she is immune to it, obviously, because she is a ground type, and she takes an Energy Ball very well, and is able to take out Galvantula. So after this really rough start, I'm really kind of freaking out about how well this whole match is going to go. My opponent brings in Milotic, and I'm scared out, so Nidoqueen is being switched out into my Miltank, who is going to take an Ice Beam really well because she actually has thick fat instead of scrappy or anything else, which is both good and bad. It's good in situations like this, where she can take hits really well, but then it's bad in situations where my opponent has a Ghost type because I have no moves that can really hit Ghost types. But she survives a Scald, which is awesome, and she's able to paralyze that Milotic and able to get a Milk Drink up. This is what Miltank is good for. She is great at surviving hits and healing back up with Milk Drink. So that's pretty much what these next few turns are going to be, just back and forth between Scald and also Seismic Toss, which I use on Miltank as well. But I want to keep Miltank around as long as possible and whittle down this Milotic's health as much as possible because I know that if Milotic ever gets the opportunity to heal up, that's going to be trouble for me. And I know that my opponent is thinking that the more my Miltank is healing up, the worse off it is for him. So his goal right now is to try to take this Miltank out, and my goal obviously is to whittle down this Milotic as much as possible so that my next Pokemon can take it out without worrying about having to deal with HP recovery, which is what Milotic is also good for. So this is just, you know, a little back and forth, and hopefully it's not too boring. I could have sped it up, but I decided not to because it didn't go too long, because Miltank is down thanks to one last Scald. I decided to leave Miltank in to just go down instead of healing back up, just to not prolong that anymore. And I knew that Froslass would be able to take Milotic out with Thunderbolt, and that critical hit didn't really matter, I don't think. I may run a calculation, but at that point, I don't think it really mattered that much. So my opponent brings in Porygon 2. And I Ice Beam it, and it does a little bit more to this Porygon 2 than it did to the last one, but this one is also another toxic Porygon 2, which I understand, because I think I use a toxic Porygon 2 in-game also. So I use this opportunity, just like last time, to set up my spikes, and hope that maybe this Porygon 2 does not have Shadow Ball like the last one. And I keep setting up spikes because the more I set up, the better off I'll be. But this Porygon 2 does have Shadow Ball. And just like last time, Shadow Ball is disabled. So when Froslass going down, I'm able to bring in Jynx. And this is like deja vu all over again. Except this time, I'm the one that's facing you and my opponent is the one with the back turned to me. So I went for a Lovely Kiss to put this Porygon 2 to sleep. Even though that Shadow Ball is disabled, I'm always worried about that Tri-Attack, and also whether or not it'll freeze or paralyze me, which would be absolutely awful for Jynx, who is fast and should not be immobilized at all, because she can't take hits all that well. So this Porygon 2 actually does have Tri-Attack instead of just Shadow Ball and Ice Beam. And I went for a Lovely Kiss one more time on Porygon 2 just so I can have the opportunity to maybe take it out, because I didn't know exactly how bulky it is, or it was. But one Ice Beam was able to take it out. Like I mentioned before, it seemed a little less specially defensive than the first one, so I figured an Ice Beam would be okay. My opponent brings in Noivern now and uses Flamethrower that knocks Jynx out. And that's okay, because Jynx has pretty much used herself up. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what I'm saying, it's way too late. She's outlived her usefulness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not so worried about that Chesnaught. I would have liked to have had Jynx or Froslass for Chesnaught, but it doesn't really matter that she's not around. Kangaskhan took Noivern out with a Fake Out and a Sucker Punch, because I wanted to ensure that Kangaskhan's health was a-okay for this Chesnaught coming in. Kangaskhan can actually take hits really well as well. And then I see that this Chesnaught has a Citrus Berry, and I was thinking, oh man, this kind of sucks, because now I really do wish I had Jynx or Froslass around. But this turn he decided to go for a Seed Bomb, so you know, in retrospect, I could have gone for a return, another return, but I didn't, because I wanted to make sure that I could do some damage to that Chesnaught, and I guess maybe he thought that I was going to switch into Nidoqueen, but I didn't. I decided to sack Kangaskhan out. But he goes for another Seed Bomb, and Nidoqueen takes that extremely well and takes Chesnaught out with a Fire Punch, which is boosted by Sheer Force. And my opponent's last Pokemon is Slurpuff, and I have no idea what this Slurpuff is going to be up to. However, if it's a Belly Drum variant, then I know that I'll be able to take it out with a Poison Jab anyway. But if it had Cotton Guard, that would have been a lot harder. But it went straight for a Flamethrower instead of anything else, so I don't know what other moves that Slurpuff had, but if it had Cotton Guard, it probably should have gone for it. But it didn't, and Nidoqueen was able to finish this match out, and she was kind of the star of this match, really, because she took out every single threat that was giving me trouble during the match. So, yay, Nidoqueen. I really like her. I have a keychain of her that I got from like Burger King a long time ago. So she's pretty awesome. And if you guys thought that this battle was awesome, also please leave a like and a comment. And if you would like to visit gamersbench.com, where we review and play through different games that you may enjoy yourself. Lastly, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, my link is in the description below, and you can check that out as well. I won't bite. You know, I welcome all followers and all you guys because you're awesome as well. And I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend this weekend, and where you shared your appreciation of all the women in your life and showed them some love. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these two battles, and I look forward to uploading some more for you next time. Thanks for watching.